Today we're going to be talking about hands down the best Google Chrome extensions for SEOs that will help you to rank and bank. But the twist is that we're actually only going to be talking about extensions that I'm really using because we know for a fact that none of these YouTube videos you're watching with people talking about 20 extensions, no SEO is actually using 20 extensions. So I'm going to be talking about only the ones that I'm actually using in my day-to-day life. And then I'll go in and talk about some that I used to use that I don't use anymore that are still worthy. And we'll also talk about a couple good extensions that I just don't have the use case for, but I know that some SEOs would. Also, be sure to watch to the end of the video because I'm going to drop a massive secret about SEO tools and extensions that you need to hear and know that's not engagement bait. It's something that a lot of SEOs need to hear, especially beginner SEOs, that can potentially save you a ton of time and money. All right, let's get into it. So here are the Chrome extensions that I actually have installed in my browser right now. So let's go ahead and get into them one by one. First up, we have the Ahrefs SEO toolbar. And if you're not watching the videos on my channel and you're not subscribed, what are you even doing at this point? Go ahead and give my channel a sub if you're enjoying the content. And you can see right here, if we type in a keyword on Google, I'm starting to get all of this information from the Ahrefs toolbar over here on the top, as well as on the right-hand side right here, as well as underneath every single URL on the list here. Now, the main thing that I use this extension for are to get the stats under each of the websites that are ranking for the keyword. So you can see a bunch of useful stuff like the DR, RD, how many organic keywords they have. And then you can get information about the specific page that is ranking, the UR, the RD. And it's also pulling in these numbers on the left-hand side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so you can see which position they are on the SERP. And I also like this information it pulls in at the top right here. It gives you the keyword difficulty right here, as well as the search volume and a bunch of other stuff like the CPC. I don't really use this stuff on the right-hand side too much, but it does give you some keyword ideas, as well as people also ask questions. And you can load more to get even more of these people also ask questions, and it looks like you can even load more after that. And then you can just easily hit the copy button and paste them into a sheet like this and go and use those for your keyword research and to potentially write new articles. I actually didn't even know that they had this people also ask feature right here, but we'll talk about this one in just a minute. If you go into any page like this, you can also open up the Ahrefs toolbar and show a bunch more data like this. Of course, I can see all the Ahrefs information as well as more information about their content. We've got their title, meta description, dates, content, their headings, some indexation information, structured data if they had schema, and a bunch of other stuff here. They also have this metrics bar that will load at the top of any website that you visit, but I normally just turn this one off. But I know a lot of people like to use that one too. But anyways, the Ahrefs toolbar is definitely my most used SEO plugin. But of course, the major downside to it is that you need to be an active Ahrefs subscriber, and their subscriptions are definitely getting more expensive by the day. But I've also got some options here if you do not have an Ahrefs subscription, so be sure to keep watching for those. And I guess it's also worth noting that I've heard some rumors that Ahrefs is going to start charging you credits for using the Ahrefs toolbar and the SERPs. Right now, they do not charge you credits for using the toolbar and the SERPs like this. However, it could happen in the future, and if that happens, I'm going to be very sad. All right, next up we have the detailed SEO extension. And the main reason that I got this extension in the first place was to get the people also asked extracting feature, which used to be on another extension called SEO Minion that became paid. Detailed is a free extension, which is really cool. And you can use it to extract the people also ask questions for your keyword research, just like I showed you with the Ahrefs toolbar. Aside from that, it also does some really cool stuff, like you can load it on any page that you're looking at, and it'll give you stuff like the title, description, URL, canonical, a lot of the stuff that the Ahrefs toolbar was also showing you. However, this is completely free. I also really like using it for the word count here. And probably the thing I use it the most for these days are the headings, so you can see how the article is structured and what important topics they're talking about in the article. I also use this link section from time to time to see what they are linking to from their article. And you can do things here like looking at images. You can see that we have 9 images without alt tags on this page right here, and also 14 images without titles. You can see a schema section here as well that honestly I don't use very much at all, as well as a social tab. All in all, this is a great little free extension that I mainly use for seeing things like the headings and doing some people also ask extraction. Highly recommend using this one. I use it all the time. Next up, we have Fonts Ninja, which is not a very popular one to talk about in the SEO community, but it's one that I actually use quite a bit because I think website design is actually important. As we saw in the Google leaks, Google is paying attention to clicks and user engagement on your website. If you need more information on that, definitely head over to my channel and watch these videos. But one way to keep users on your site and keep them engaged in your content is to have a good looking site with good looking content. And I think Fonts Ninja can really help you kind of steal your competitors' designs, so you don't really have to know much about design yourself to have a good looking site. So I'll go ahead and turn it on here. And you can see if I come over to a website like our website here, and then I hover over some text, it will show you the name of the font as well as the size and the spacing and all that good stuff. So you could say, okay, their headings are done like this. Okay, their text and their paragraphs is this size and this font. Their menu is this font and this size and this spacing. So you could really easily come to a website, figure out everything you need to know about their design, and then apply it to your own website. All of this stuff doesn't really take very long to do. It only takes like 5 or 10 minutes to do when you set these things globally and you make templates for your blog posts and things like that, and it'll just automatically happen. You don't have to do it all the time. So I think something like this is definitely worth the time for having a nice looking website, setting it one time, and then just forgetting about it. Next up, we have Google Docs offline. I'm not going to talk about this one. I believe this one is just so you can copy and paste into Google Docs, which is honestly crazy. You need an extension to do that. Anyway, I'm not really sure what this one does, but we'll go ahead and skip it. Next up, we have Grammarly, also not really an SEO extension, but one that I use all the time and I can't really imagine living without. I do use the paid version, and I do like using this for our writers as well, having them check things with Grammarly. But you can definitely use the free version, and that could be pretty good for your own personal use. And could also be good for your writers as well, although the premium version definitely has some pretty cool, more in-depth editing features if you're doing serious content edits. But anyway, if you don't want to do the premium, go ahead and get the free, and it just shows up everywhere, right? If you're writing an email, if you're writing an article, if you're writing a message to somebody, it doesn't really matter. It shows up everywhere. You can edit your content so you can look like you're smart and not stupid like me. Next up, we have LastPass. I'm not going to talk about this one either. It just remembers all my passwords because if you're doing SEO, you can have passwords to literally a million different things. This will remember all of them. You just need one master password, and then that's all you got to do. Next up, we have Link Grabber, which is a cool little extension. So let's say we came over to this page and we wanted to get every link that was going out from this page. We could just open up Link Grabber. It would then put all the links in a list like this, and you could very easily copy that list of links very cleanly and paste it somewhere. This is another free extension, and it has been pretty helpful for me over the years. We have Loom, which if you don't know is a video recording software where you can very easily record screen shares and little videos of yourself talking. I don't want to go showing you around our folders here, but we have Loom videos for pretty much every SOP that we have at our link building agency. Because what's better than a written SOP is a video SOP. I feel like it's really good for training your employees and getting them up to date on the processes of doing things. But it can also be really useful for stuff like sending little mini audits to clients. If you're trying to get new clients, you can analyze their website, send them a little 2 to 5 minute screen recording of you looking at their SEO and analyzing things and saying, hey, this is why you should hire me. But yeah, really cool little tool. Use it all the time. They do have a starter version, which you only get, I think, 25 videos per person and up to 5 minutes per video. So if you want longer videos or you need to keep more videos in your folders, then you're definitely going to want to upgrade. However, it's quite cheap, but you can use the free one here for a while. Next up, we have the Remove Breadcrumbs plugin by Detailed, which is a new one that they put out. The same guys that, of course, have the regular Detailed extension up here. And what you can see here in the SERPs, if we just search for anything, it's actually showing you the full URL here instead of what Google usually shows, which are breadcrumbs. They don't like to show the full URL. But as an SEO, we like to see this full URL just because it lets us see how they are actually targeting the keyword and their URL structure. So anyway, really simple little extension, but really cool. I like it. Next up, return YouTube dislikes, so you can actually see the dislikes on YouTube videos since they removed that. Then we have save text to file. It's something that we found patched a little thing that we had in our processes. Anyway, you can go on literally anything on the internet and you can highlight it and then click save text to file. And you can see here now that it has all of this text written in a file for you to send to wherever or whoever you want to. Next up, we got Surfer for Google Docs. You probably already know what Surfer SEO is. If you're not aware of what Surfer is, it's my favorite content writing tool where you can pretty much analyze your competition, see what keywords they're targeting, see what kind of topics they're talking about, etc., and then include that in your own content. Then when you're writing your content, it gives you a bunch of little just easy improvements you can use. Like right now, it's showing you what headings you could be using. It'll also show you what keywords to include in your article, how long it needs to be, etc., etc. All this plugin does is make it so that you can use Surfer in Google Docs because we have all of our writing processes set up in Google Docs, and a lot of you probably do as well. So you can just do everything you can do in Surfer SEO, you can do it in a Google Doc instead, which of course just makes it a lot easier for your team to streamline things. And last up, I have uBlock Origin, which is an ad blocker. I will say as an SEO though, you'll probably want to turn this off from time to time because it's really good to see how sites are monetized and to see advertisements because we are marketers and that information is valuable to us. So yeah, you can see I'm really not using that many extensions here. So let's go ahead and talk about some extensions that I used to use and that I can still definitely recommend to you. So first up, we have SEO Quake, which is very similar to the Ahrefs toolbar, except it's from SEMrush, which you probably know is one of Ahrefs' biggest competitors. So if you don't like Ahrefs pricing and you want to use SEMrush, you can go ahead and use this one instead. It has a lot of the same stuff, very, very similar. They do have a free version as well, so you don't need SEMrush to actually get access to some of the free features. However, I believe they are quite limited. I'm not really sure exactly what they are, but you can go ahead and look at that yourself if you are interested. Next up, we have the Mozbar Chrome extension, which I used for a very, very long time, because this existed before the Ahrefs toolbar existed, and I think even after the Ahrefs toolbar came out, I just didn't use it for some reason for a long time, so I just kept using the Moz toolbar. But yeah, all it does is it shows you the DA and the PA and things like referring domains under each SERP result, just like the Ahrefs toolbar did. So just like this, except it's going to be with Moz metrics instead of Ahrefs metrics. Of course, Ahrefs metrics are better. However, Moz is free. So highly, highly, highly recommend this one if you don't have an Ahrefs subscription or SEMrush, because having this kind of data on the SERP when you're doing SERP analysis is definitely my favorite thing that an SEO Chrome extension can actually do. You do have to create an account, but it's pretty easy. Just create an account and you can log in and start using it immediately. No payment required. Next up, we have two of my favorites, which I also used for a very long time that I don't use too much anymore. First up, we have Keywords Everywhere, and then we have SEO Minion. Keywords Everywhere used to be free, but then they made it paid, but the paid is actually very cheap. And we actually still kept using it after it became a paid tool. I think we were just paying whatever this cheapest one right is here, and it's extremely cheap. And I think we basically never ran out of credits ever. So anyway, it is a paid extension. However, I would consider it basically free. I'm not going to install it to show you guys, but you can see here that when you have the extension installed and you search for a keyword on Google, it'll then give you some information like the search volume, the cost per click, as well as some other information here on the right side and some additional keyword ideas. It can even do the same thing in things like Pinterest or YouTube or any other kind of social media. It can help you with competitor research as well, showing you the top keywords for any competitor. And it's got some other stuff for content marketing and e-commerce. However, the main thing I was really using it for right here was just getting additional keyword ideas and information in the SERP when you're searching around like this. Doing SERP-based keyword research is probably my favorite way to go about doing keyword research. So having this tool and all this information right here is really handy for you. They also didn't mention it up there, but a couple other really cool things that it does is it can show the same information when you're in your Google Search Console, as well as analytics and trends and Google Keyword Planner. So as an SEO, when you're using these other Google tools, it'll bring this information right into the tool for you. And it's actually pretty awesome. The reason I'm really not using keywords everywhere anymore these days is just because I haven't really been doing much keyword research. However, there is a good chance that I will be using it again in the future. Cheap tool, good tool. Next up, we have SEO Minion, which used to be a free tool. And I guess it is kind of still a free tool, but you actually need to get keywords everywhere to get access to SEO Minion. Everyone used to use SEO Minion to do the people also ask extraction, and then it became part of Keywords Everywhere, and people were like, hey, I don't want to pay for that. So then the detailed extension got really popular because everyone started moving over here to do the PAA extraction this way. And that's how I actually stopped using SEO Minion, how I started using detailed as well, because we had canceled our Keywords Everywhere subscription, and so I didn't want to have to pay for it just to use SEO Minion. However, this is a great tool as well. If you get Keywords Everywhere, you might as well use SEO Minion, because I actually like SEO Minion better than detailed. But it is a lot of the same stuff. It gives you information in your browser about the page you're looking at. It gives you information on the server about people also ask. You can extract them very easily. On-page SEO, broken links, checking redirects, SERP preview, structured data and schema. But yeah, it does pretty much all the stuff I showed you over here like detail does, except I just think it does it a little bit better. Next up, we have two extensions that I've actually never used. However, I do think they are worth mentioning. The first one is Lighthouse, and the second one is Web Vitals. They're both from Google. They can help you check stuff like your page speed, your core Web Vitals, stuff like that. Stuff that honestly I don't really pay much attention to. I just get it to what I think it needs to be at, which is a passing grade, and then I forget about it. I don't think it's that important for your SEO. However, these two tools can make looking at this stuff really easy if you need to do this stuff for your job, if you need to do this stuff for clients. So quick little mention for these two plugins. And last up, we have Harpa AI, which is one that I used briefly, but I didn't really find myself using it that much, so I ended up deleting it. However, if you're really into AI and ChatGPT and stuff like that, which I am too, I just ended up not using the plugin that much. Anyway, it really has a ton of little features in it. Most of them, which I thought were kind of gimmicky and I could just do better elsewhere just using ChatGPT myself. However, I know a lot of people do like using it, and there are a bunch of just little features in here that make it really easy to do very specific things. So it's kind of worth just checking it out, downloading it, and poking around and see if there's anything you like in there. It brings AI to the page that you're looking at and gives you a bunch of cool things that you can do very easily, very quickly while you're still viewing the page instead of having to tab over and do things in ChatGPT, write a new prompt every time to do it. It's already ready for you to do and everything's ready to go. It does look like it is paid now. I'm pretty sure when I was using it, it was free. I'm not really too sure about this. But anyway, if you're interested in Harpa AI, you can go ahead and check this one out as well. I believe it's the most popular AI plugin for Google Chrome. But yeah, not something I use. And all right, now it's time for the big secret that I promised you at the very beginning of the video. And the big secret is if you are a beginner to intermediate SEO, you can really just ignore this entire video. You really do not need to pay attention to this stuff at all. Because these tools are cool and they can help you, but really what they're doing is shaving off seconds of time. They're helping you to optimize your processes, make them easier. But as a beginner, I feel like a lot of SEOs say, well, hey, I really need these tools because that's the secret sauce. That's what's keeping me from being an SEO and getting results. And that's really just not the case at all. But I know how it feels because I was there at one point too, and I was really obsessive about this kind of stuff when I first started. Like, oh, what WordPress themes am I using? What WordPress plugins? What SEO tools? These are the best. I'm watching all these videos, and it was just a massive waste of time. Really, all you need as a beginner, not even just a beginner, you could really just use the same kind of stuff as an advanced SEO. All you really need is one of these best, like all-around SEO tools like Ahrefs, SEMrush, or ClickSo. So head over to my website to see my recommended tool list if you want more information on those. But yeah, really, you just need one of these tools. Over on the other YouTube channel, we interviewed Jabez Rubin, a link builder, about a week ago. We just found out that he's not even using Pitchbox or any kind of link building software. He's literally just using Ahrefs to power his entire link building agency, which I thought was really awesome because I've never really met another agency owner that was doing it just like that, but really cool to hear. So if you're looking to optimize your processes, if you're looking to shave a couple seconds of time off here and there, definitely go ahead and give some of these plugins or extensions a try. However, I think for a lot of people watching this video, you'd be better off just learning the fundamentals, learn the stuff that really helps move the needle for your SEO, which ends up really just being good content and good backlinks, and you'll be a lot better off. And if you want more information on all that stuff, make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel and give the video a like and a comment as well. Let me know what extensions you are using. All right, guys, that's it for now. See you next time. Bye-bye.